Okay, I'm gonna show you how to make potato candy. Every time I try to tell somebody how to make it, they have problems making it. Which it can be difficult, but it can be easy. So I'm gonna show you how to make it, and then I'm gonna show you how to make a couple other things. We're gonna make potato candy, peanut butter fudge, and no-bake cookies. To start with, to make potato candy, you take a small potato. The larger the potato, the harder it is to make. Take a small potato, cut it up in chunks, boil it until it's soft, which I just got through doing. After you get it boiled, see I cut it up in chunks and then boiled it, drain it, put it in a bowl. But you want to use a small potato, because the bigger potato you may use, the more sugar it takes and the harder it is to make. The first time I made it, we used too big of a potato and we had 2 boxes of confectionery sugar and it wasn't enough, and when I tried to spread it out, it ran off the table. And that's the biggest problem people has with it, is not mixing it until it's finished. So as you see, we have 1 potato boiled about this size. Then you just put it in a bowl and mash it up a little bit. Boil it till it's soft. And then when you mash it up, take confectionery sugar, pour a little at a time, about like that, and you'll see the potato melt as you mix the sugar in it. Now the potato's going to become real runny, and that's where people start running into problems, when they start trying to put it on the wax paper and use it. You want to mash the chunks up so that it's not too chunky, and it'll melt easier. And then you add more sugar. I'll do it a little at a time, because if you want to try to get the right amount of sugar in there and allow it to melt. You just stir it till it thicks. After a while, it'll start thickening back up. But right now, the potato is still melting. That's the reason you use a small potato, because it ends up taking quite a bit of sugar to ever get it to stiffen back up. But as you see, the potato is still melting. It's melting every bit of it right now. Then you add more sugar. If you're using the boxes and you use a small potato, it usually takes anywhere from 1.5 boxes to 2.5 boxes, depending on the size of the potato. I use the bags, and it varies just the same depending on the size of the potato that I use. But you see it's still thin and it's still melting. It's really quite simple to make if you know to keep doing it until you get it to the right texture. Add more sugar. You'll keep adding sugar until it gets good and stiffens back up and gets good and stiff, where you can, it actually starts to hurt your wrist whenever you're mixing it. But you'll start to see it getting thicker. But right now it's still way too thin. And the problem most people has is they stop adding sugar and mixing it way before it's ready. And then when you spread it out, it will still melt and run off your paper. Add more sugar. That should get us pretty close. Oops, I'm gonna make a mess. It's easy to make a mess with, but you see it's starting to stiffen up. A lot of people think that's already ready, but that's not ready. And that's what I try to emphasize to them. If you quit too soon, it's still too runny. It's getting thick. It's starting to make my wrist get a little sore when I mix it. Now I add a little more. Won't take much more. Oops. Now we're getting there. Now it's getting thick. That's the way we like it right there. It's getting just about there. As you can see though, I had to add sugar about, I don't know, 5 or 6 times to get it close. Now that's making my wrist real sore whenever I try to mix it. It's good and thick. That's the way you want it. Yeah, just a dab more. Got it thick enough now. Almost went overboard with it, but that's okay. And now what you want to do, take your piece of wax paper, put it down on your table. I like to take a little bit of tape, put me a piece of tape on each end, tape it to the table, just so my paper don't move when I'm spreading it. Okay. And you take a little bit of sugar, pour a little bit out on the, you really don't need that much, but spread a little sugar out on your paper and push the rest to the side just to make it a little sugary, where things don't stick so bad. And I put that there because that's what I'm gonna be dipping. Of course, I washed my hands before I started, so you wanna get sugar on your hands. And then you'll take put it on your wax paper. Put it in a line. Before you touch it every time, make sure you got sugar on your fingers because it will stick to your fingers. Then you want to start mashing it out. You want to make about a 4 to 5 inch wide strip. And no, you can't roll it because it sticks to the roller. And it sticks to your fingers very easily. So just put more sugar on your fingers and mash it out. And my tape didn't hold. Neither side. My wax paper's moving. You want to spread it on out and get it to about 1/8 of an inch thick. And like I said, about 4 to 5 inches wide. This is messier than I normally do it. I guess I'm a little nervous. My paper's moving because I didn't get it taped very well. And I'm making a mess. I usually don't make this big of a mess with it. You want to get it as thin, and that's the reason you end up with a long roll with just a small potato. Okay, about a 4 to 5 inch strip. Then you want to take peanut butter. Golly, I'm making a bigger mess than I ever made with it. Yeah, I licked it off my finger. Okay, I'm gonna put a layer of peanut butter all the way over it. It don't have to be as messy as I made this one, but like I said, I guess I'm a little nervous trying to make a video. I don't never do that, so. But it's gonna come out the same result anyway, even if it is messy. But you see mine's not running off the table because I mixed it right. You just gotta make sure you get it mixed right. When you get it mixed right, it won't run no more because it's through melting. Layer of peanut butter on the whole thing. Then you want to undo the tape, which my tape's already undone, and you want to roll it with your wax paper. It's so much easier to roll it with your wax paper than it is to try to roll it with your fingers. I got peanut butter all on my finger. And that is potato candy. Now you'll let it sit. I usually let it sit. I always give it a couple hours, but you don't even have to give it that much time. Actually, it's eatable right now, but you let it sit and get a little hard. And then you take a butter knife, or any kind of knife, but a butter knife, I usually take a butter knife and just make thin slices across here. And then you can put it in containers. And that's it for the potato candy. That's Mikey's potato candy. And we'll be making peanut butter fudge and no-bake cookies, and hopefully I won't make such a mess. Hope you enjoy.